Hi, RESkids! Welcome to RESkids Online. We are here to love God together, love others, and lead our friends to do the same. I'm Taylor, and I'm so glad to be back here with you guys. This is actually my last week here with you all for RESkids Online because I'm moving to Seattle, and I'm going to miss all of you so much. We are almost at the end of our series called God's Power. We will be following friends Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego as King Nebuchadnezzar throws the friends into a fiery furnace because they refuse to worship any other gods other than God the Most High. We will see how God's power rescues them even though they do not expect it. Before we go into the story, we are going to learn a new worship song that some of our kids learned during our Mission Possible Camp Week.
There's nowhere you won't go, nothing you won't do, no place that I could hide. You're always in pursuit, I'm never too far gone, always in your side. When I wait for you, you're always right on time. You're always pursuing, always pursuing, always pursuing me. More than the air I breathe, I need you here with me. And you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop. And you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop chasing me. You made a way for me, opened up the door. Jesus, you have my heart, now and forevermore. You're always pursuing, always pursuing, always pursuing me. More than the air I breathe, I need you here with me. And you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop. And you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop chasing me. More than the air I breathe, I need you here with me. And you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop. And you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop chasing me. You're always pursuing, always pursuing, always pursuing me. Your love is chasing, your love is chasing, your love is chasing me. You're always pursuing, always pursuing, always pursuing me. Oh, your love is chasing, your love is chasing, your love is chasing me. More than the air I breathe, I need you here with me. And you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop. And you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop chasing me. More than the air I breathe, I need you here with me. And you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop. And you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop chasing me. No, you never, and you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop.
What a fun way to learn God's Word. Join us for the Bible story time right now, and then we have the God Stuff channel.
Good morning, RESkids, and happy Sunday! We have a brand new guest here in the RESkids studio, and I can't wait to introduce you to her. Can we all welcome and say hello to my friend Delaney?
Hi, RESkids! I'm so excited to actually be in this studio and can't wait to help teach this week's story.
Today is a great day to help me teach Delaney because we are continuing our lesson on God's power. And this week's story is another crazy, unbelievable one.
And I think we're going to need these today. Right, Miss Danielle?
Yeah, we are. Let's get into our Bible story and see what God wants to teach us today. You ready to go into our story, Delaney?
Ready, Miss Danielle?
3, 2, 1.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome!
I know, it's fun, right? It's one of my favorite ways to jump into our Bible stories. Okay, RESkids, here we see a big golden statue with the king of Babylon, and he made all the Babylonians kneel down and worship it every time they heard music play. And if they didn't, the king would throw them into a giant hot fire.
Whoa, wait, time out. He'd throw them into a fire? That's so extreme.
Totally extreme.
And time out again. They were worshiping a golden statue? I thought we were only supposed to worship the Most High God.
We are, and that's exactly what these 3 guys who are not kneeling also know. Their names are Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They love and worship God only and refuse to worship anything else.
I bet that made the king super mad. He looks really angry in this picture.
Oh my goodness, he was crazy mad, and he actually did send people to capture them and bring them to him so they could talk.
Honestly, I'd be so afraid if I had to face a king like that.
Are you kidding me, Delaney? I'd be terrified. Could you imagine having to face being thrown into a fire simply because you want to worship God only?
Were they scared, Miss Danielle?
The opposite. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were incredibly brave and had total trust in God. They told the king that they would not stop worshiping God only and would never worship his statue. That even if they were thrown into the fire, their God could rescue them from it. But if he didn't, they would still only worship God. They knew without a doubt that God's power rescues us.
Wow, they are so brave.
So brave and trusting in God's power. And the king knew it too, which made him even more angry. So he told his men to make the fire even hotter.
I don't like where this is going.
Hang in there, Delaney, and you too, RESkids. Remember, God's power rescues us, and that will help us get through the next part of the story. So, the fire is extra hot. The king is extra mad, and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were thrown into the fire. I can't wear this. Doesn't fit. I got stuck. Okay. Suddenly, the king jumps up. He's looking at the flames and runs out to the fire and starts counting the figures in the flames.
1, 2, 3, 4. I count 4.
That was the king's reaction too. He ran down to the fire and asked his men to count with him. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who was the 4th person?
Oh my goodness, it's God's angel, right?
Yes! God sent an angel to protect them from the burning fire. So even though the flames were extra hot and they were literally in the middle of all the flames, God made sure no flame touched any part of these 3 men. Yes. So the king calls out to each of them, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, servants of the real true God, come out of the fire and come here. And they walked out of the fire completely unburned. In fact, God protected them so well, they didn't even smell like fire.
What? Even when I go camping and I'm just next to a fire, I totally smell like fire.
Me too. Fire is powerful. The smell of it sticks to us, even if we're in the same area of it. One time on a camping trip with my son, he put his wet shoes next to the fire, not on the fire pit or over the flames or anything, just next to it, and the heat totally melted part of his shoe. So, could you imagine the shock when these 3 men who were actually in the fire were not only not burned anywhere, but they didn't even smell like smoke? God's power rescues us.
Wow, you're right. This is an amazing story about God's power. Although, it makes me kind of wish that I could be that brave and remember to trust even when I'm scared.
Oh, me too, because I'm not that brave, and I do struggle to trust God when I'm nervous or scared or unsure, but God knows that about us. He knows that we will struggle to trust and forget how powerful he is. And he loves us anyway. God showed his power when he rescued these 3 men from the burning fire, but he rescued us from something far worse.
Worse than being thrown into a burning fire? Oh, it's sin, isn't it? God had to rescue us all from sin.
Yes, Delaney, we are all sinners, and the punishment for sin is death. We could never rescue ourselves from sin, so God had to show his power again to save the entire world.
And that's when he sent Jesus.
Exactly. God bringing Jesus back to life is all the proof we need to trust that God's power rescues us. When we remember that, we can trust that Jesus will be with us and take care of us no matter what. Thanks for listening to our Bible story this week, RESkids. For Verse of the Week, we're going to show you a clip. And let's see how much of it you guys remember. Okay, get ready. Here it goes.
Howdy, 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 everybody. It's me again, Scripture Sally.
And Bible Bob.
Today, we're going to learn more about God's power. So let's repeat the verse from last week. He delivers and rescues. He works signs and wonders in heaven and on earth. He who has saved Daniel from the power of the lions. Daniel 6:27. And we're going to sing the memory verse like we did last week. Maybe you'll remember it a bit more and sing it along with us.
I can sing loud.
Okay, Bible Bob, let's do this. When I'm scared or confused and I find I'm sad or hurt and I don't know who's my friend today. When the darkness feels so scary and I feel in danger, who will rescue me? Every tear I cry, every frown I make, God knows them all and he wants to take them away from me. He loves me so, he takes care of us. He delivers and rescues, he works signs and wonders in heaven and on earth. He who has saved Daniel from the power of the lions, he shows us his mercy. We belong to him, so let's live with joy in his power inside. Signs and wonders in heaven and on earth. Who has saved Daniel from the power of the lions? He shows us his mercy. We belong with him. Let's live with joy.
How did you guys do watching that clip? Were you able to remember all the words? I bet you guys did awesome. Thank you so much for listening to our Bible story today. And thank you, Delaney, for teaching with us.
Thank you. I had a great time.
We can't wait to see what you guys are going to learn from Mr. Weber. We'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Okay, that's one I'm going to remember for sure. Here we go. Here's another episode from the God Stuff channel.
What's up, Tiny Legends? Welcome again to the God Stuff channel, where every single week we try to answer a tough question about God. This week we're asking the question, how does God show us his power to rescue us? And of course, don't forget, if you like watching the God Stuff channel, share it with all your friends, because we think God Stuff is the best stuff, and we want everyone to know about God Stuff. Okay, this week with me is a brand new guest to the show, but not a stranger to many of you, especially those of you in our Hayward crowd. Please give it up for Michaela Marquez. Here she is.
Hey, what's up, Weber?
What's up?
Hey, Tiny Legends. Good to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. So, how has summer shaped up for you so far?
It's been all right. Social distancing, sleeping a lot. It's
Any highlights? You just had a birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My sister just got baptized.
Ooh.
And my birthday, but that was still I did get invited to a wrestling practice.
Ooh, like an in-person wrestling practice? That's right, you're a wrestler. That's so cool. So this is perfect because our big idea for the week is all about seeing God using his power to rescue us, right? Maybe? Well, okay. Would you say that being powerful is a big part of being a good wrestler?
Of course. You gotta be strong to be able to get the dubs.
And you do pretty good, right? Have you ever lost a match?
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're strong or fast or anything like that. There's always someone bigger or stronger out there.
Are you ever scared to face someone, like if you think they're bigger or stronger than you are?
Yeah, I get pretty nervous. I just don't show it. It's tough if you wrestle not knowing if you'll win or lose.
That's kind of what Daniel and his friends were facing. Like they were in a situation where they weren't sure if they would actually make it out alive. They were some pretty smart guys, right? They were really tough. They were really wise. It said they were actually like some of the best looking guys that Nebuchadnezzar took out of Israel. But as strong as they were being faced with something that nobody really could handle.
For sure.
But before we really dig into that, normally we do like a unboxing thing. Do you want to do it?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so here's how we do it. We put our hands up, we say, we got a box, and the box flies in from nowhere. Okay, ready? We got a box! Boom. There you go.
Thank you.
Open that up. I'm excited about this one. Yes.
What's this about? A lighter?
Yes, I think for us to really understand what happened in this story, to really get what this big deal is, we need to learn a little bit more about how fire works. My favorite.
Yeah, I've heard you're crazy.
Crazy, okay. Well, you have no idea how crazy because check this out.
Well, hello, children. I am Frankenstein, the fire scientist today, and we are going to be looking at the fiery furnace. The evil king Nebuchadnezzar wanted to get the fire not 1 times hot, not 5 times hot, but 10 times the hot. But we were going to see how our little Lego men do. So first we put little Lego man in 1 times hot, only 1 times hot fire in there, and then we add the 1 times hot and evil Nebuchadnezzar. Here we go. Good luck, little guys. Okay, let's see how Lego guy number 1 did. Oh, the poor little Lego guy. Oh, he's just a little Lego puddle guy now. Okay, little Lego man did not do so good with 1 times hot. Now we see 5 times hot. Here we go. Little Lego man. And now the 5 times hot. Yes. Good luck, little guys. Let's see, 5 times hot guy. Oh, this fella. Oh, he's a little Lego puddle too. Oh. Okay, poor little Lego guy did not do so good with 5 times hot, but now we put Daniel and his little friends inside the fire, and we're going to make it 10 times the hot. 10 times the hot. Here we go, little guys. Good luck to you. And here's how we do. We take the cloves, we take the can, and we add the fire.
You're crazy.
I know, yes, but now we're gonna get to see what this story is really showing us. So the first couple trips the Lego guys took into the fire didn't go so well for them, right?
Oh yeah, they're goners.
So what do you think will happen when we see the ones that are put into the 10 times hot fire?
Well, unless there's some sort of miracle here, those guys are goners too.
Yes, well that's exactly what Daniel and his buddies are facing in the story. The king was so upset with them because they would not treat him like God. And he told his guys to get the fire as hot as they could, like 10 times hotter than it normally was.
But what's the point of that? I mean, who's gonna survive even a normal furnace? The Lego guys sure didn't.
Well, that's exactly the point. You already said it. Unless an incredible miracle happens, there is no way these guys are going to survive that fire. That's it for them. They can only hope that God will use his incredible power to rescue them.
Well, we gotta see how the story went with Daniel's friends earlier. But what's the to be continued part for?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Yes, roll it.
And here's how we do. We take the cloves, we take the can, and we add the fire. Good luck, little guys. Now let's see how Daniel and his 10 times hot friends did in the fire. I think they're going to be there. They're okay, but there's 1, 2, 3, there's 4. Truly, some miracle has happened here that they have defied the science of the furnace and remained intact. Unbelievable.
No Lego men were harmed in the filming of this video. All activities are performed by highly trained specialists and should not be attempted at home.
Dang, that's a lot of fire. Oh, just like Daniel's friends, 3 went in and 4 came out. But what I'm wondering is, I understand how Daniel's friends made it out of the fire because of God's power. But how did the Legos not melt?
Oh, well, those were just camera tricks for me. But it was real for Daniel's friends. And that's the same question everybody was asking them when they survived the king's 10 times hot furnace.
I get it. Then that's how God showed everyone his power.
Yeah.
He kept them from being hurt, even though the king's furnace was like impossible hot.
Yes, ma'am. But here's the big question. How does this connect to us? See, every one of these stories in the Bible, they're great to read, right? But they're there for a lot more than just entertaining us. They're here to teach us something about Jesus and about ourselves.
Okay, so me, and I'm guessing the tiny legends, want to know, what's this mean about Jesus and us?
Ooh, okay, so let me ask you this. So Daniel's friends were facing a big problem, something so scary and deadly that they could never have hoped to survive it unless God did an incredible miracle. Does that sound familiar to you at all?
Well, it kind of sounds a lot like the same way we talked about sin and being punished for it.
That's it. You see, we're not about to be thrown into a fiery furnace, right? But we do have to face this punishment for sin, right? Can you tell by tiny legends what you think sin means?
Well, it's like when we do what we want instead of what God says. When we disobey God, it's called a sin. And no one can live without doing that. Nope.
Yeah, and when people sin, God says it must be punished. And it's not a fiery furnace we're thrown into again. It's actually way worse. We would spend forever apart from God and apart from anything good or anyone that we care about, and that stinks.
Whoa, wait a second. That's not it, right?
No, that's not it. Here's a question for you. Okay, how were Daniel's friends able to survive that fire?
Well, God used his power to do it.
Yes, but the story has one really important detail. How many people did he throw in the fire in the first place?
It was the 3 of them.
The 3. Okay, and how many people did they see in there afterward?
There were 4.
Uh-huh.
Who was that extra guy?
Yeah, well, this is really cool. So a lot of Bible experts think that that was actually Jesus with them in there, and that he came in person to Daniel's friends to rescue them.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Jesus couldn't have been that guy in the fiery furnace, because that was way before he was born. Like, back then.
Back. Well, there's a few times that he actually did that, right? And this is one of them, where he came in person to be with them, to rescue them from this impossible situation. Now, does that sound familiar?
Coming in person to be with people and rescue people, well, that's what we hear all the time about Jesus.
Yes.
That he came to the earth to save people from sin.
That's it. Do you see? It's the same exact story. Jesus came and used his power to rescue Daniel's friends from this great danger, and
He also came to use his power to rescue people from their sin.
yes. But the really important part is that Jesus didn't just sit outside the fire and save them staying all cool, did he?
No, he was there with them, right?
Right, and that's so important because Jesus did not save people from sin sitting off safe in heaven either.
No, I know this. He came in person, took the heat with us, and he took the punishment himself so we wouldn't have to.
Yes, and he doesn't stop there either. He promises to use his power to take care of us in all kinds of ways in our life now also.
Dude, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
You said God uses his power to rescue us. I feel like that's not even a big enough way to say it. What he did is impossible. No one could rescue us from sin except God.
Right. Well, and because of it, we never need to sweat. Get it? Sweat, fire, okay. We never get to sweat about sin again. Even though we still sin, we try not to, but we do. And we can always know that Jesus is with us and he uses his incredible power to rescue us from way more than just fire.
So, knowing that God has already rescued us, I don't have to be nervous before my wrestling matches.
Right.
But even if I am, and whether I win or lose, God's got me.
Nice. That's perfect. Well, I think we should land the God Stuff channel right there. Thank you for coming, Michaela.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. And thanks for tuning in, Tiny Legends. Remember, if you like watching the God Stuff channel, to share the channel with your friends, because we believe God Stuff is the best stuff. All right, have a great week, and don't touch your eyeballs.
Many of you enjoyed our first ever virtual summer camp. If you liked camp and you loved seeing your friends, online small groups will be starting in September. Stay tuned. I hope to see many of you again soon. RESkids, I love you all so much. I'm praying for you, and I just hope that you always chase God and remember he's never gonna fail you. I miss all of you. Thank you for joining RESkids today. Bye.